What is up, everyone? What is going happen? I don't know why I say that so frequently. Hi, how's it going? I'm Connery. Is that as quiet as I think it is? All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm unmuted, right? Yes, I am. Hi, Kawaii, Cabrilla, Jungriel, Soth, Rainbows, Rose, Halcyon, Fabricio, Peak. What up, everyone? Yuri, Baby Girl. Hello. How's everyone's polls going? Bro, it is so hard not to pull on Mavwi. How do you pronounce? Is it Mavwika? Is it Mavwika? Is it pronounced how it looks like? Mavwika. Terrible. Oh, I'm sorry. Mavwika. Lost 50-50. Lost to Mona. Mavwika. Oh, okay. Mavwika. All right. It is pronounced how it looks. Well, baby girl, I hope that hope things get as better as they can. Sending good vibes your way. Got both limited weapons in the 10 poll yesterday. Oh my gosh, I saw that on the Discord. Holy, yeah, that's wild. Halcyon got cheat. Oh no. We lost our first poll. I lost Yellen to Mona. Lost our first 50-50 to Mona. Paladin got both. Sitlali. Oh, I've been saying Sitali because I didn't see the L after the T. Sitlali. These two songs, Village Surrounded by Green and Enchanting Bedtime Stories, are two of my favorite tracks in the overworld. They're so nice. So nice. All right, let's hop into this. Kawaii saving for buttons and father's weapon. God, I have coffee. I was told that, what was I told? I was told that the interlude might be a bit better to do before we do Nahida's second, quest. And so I think we're going to do Interlude today. And I did read, this is going to be the next one that I do a, what am I saying? An audiobook on, where I just read the book. But I did read Before Sun and Moon. Quite, I'm still processing everything that I read as well. And Easteroth, which, I was trying to remember, where did, who mentioned Easteroth? Where was that brought up? Was that at the very end? Did Miko bring that up at the end of the Inazuma quest line, or was that brought up during the Sumeru quest line? Shogun's story quest. So interesting. I'm still gathering my thoughts on it. I read all of them as well, but especially number 2 was the especially one. It's worth the read. It's very much worth the read. Some of these can be kind of long, but they're so worth the read. Also, the Ouroboros and Orobashi and there's just so much in here that I need to reread it several more times to really process what I read. But the Third Year of Darkness was I reread this paragraph so much because I was like, wait, hold on, in reverse, and I was like, oh. So yeah, I don't think any other updates on builds or anything. I have one more thing to do for my daily, but you know, I could just get that as an encounter point when we're doing the quest. So ba-da-boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Interlude, the Nightbird Falls at Curtain's Call is the one you're talking about, correct? That's what you're probably best to do that one in between Nahida's 2 story quests, because the reason that was mentioned was that's how it was released. It was Nahida Story Quest 1, then the Interlude, then Nahida Story Quest 2. Oh my gosh, coffee. So nice. Okay, so that's the one here. So let's hop up into Sumeru City. And I'm gonna run a group that doesn't have any Sumeru characters in it. What? Because last time we had Nahida as a trial character, and it completely fricked up my order, because all of a sudden Nahida was at number 4 slot, and it moved everyone else up 1. And so I was constantly trying to select a character I thought I was, and hitting the wrong one. Wait, hang on. I thought this waypoint was up top. Go to the Sanctuary of Surasthana. Oh, I haven't tried character trials. Let's start with that. Or we end with that. Let's end with that. I have not done the character trials yet. I need my free modes from that. I've been really into motorcycles in general in the past year, and between that and many other factors as well, it is so hard not to pull on this character. This is one of the coolest and hottest characters that they've released, period. Anyways. We need to be cultivating the scholars and the cabbage. Where am I going? Upstairs. I could throw a few singles at her. Oh, not that screen. The other thing is, Bennett's next constellation, like, I'm not building Diona. I'm not really worried about her. Bennett's next con isn't going to be super helpful for me, is it? And the other thing is I think I'm saving, I don't know. No, because I won't be able to, like, I don't want to go to Natlan just for materials, you know? So I am saving for Shenhe on Chronicled, and then either stilettos or buttons. I should just call her father instead of stilettos. Stilettos or buttons on phase 2. Yeah, she'll have a rerun. Benny. Because his next one... Oh, never mind. That one actually would be relatively. However, Bennett doesn't go down in health super often, because usually I bring him out and just activate his burst and then switch immediately off. And he rarely, because he has some pretty good invincibility frames when he casts his burst. So he doesn't often go below 70. That still would be nice, though. I don't know. But with the, I got a new letter from an informant. With the glitter shop, I mentioned before, I'm not going for official or Xiangling on this one because it's the next constellation for official buffs her burst, next constellation for Xiangling buffs her skill, and I don't use official's burst or Xiangling's skill as regularly enough to make it worth it to spend 34 glitters on it. Oh yeah, people did mention also that C6 Bennett is should be thought about. You know what? Let's throw one at her. I would cry if that was a 5-star. I was like, yes! Wow, a blood-tainted grape fricker. Why would I say that? At the very least, this can build up our pity for Father and Buttons. But I just want to save up the wishes to pull on either Father or Buttons.
Looks like the situation has changed again.
Looks like the situation has changed again. Looks like the cabbage has changed again. Yeah, what is Bennett's C6? People said that like that one's think about that one before you pole arm wielding characters inside Fantastic Voyages radius gain a 50% pyro damage bonus and their weapons are infused with pyro. Oh, weird. And their weapons are infused with pyro. Huh. This is how much this just shows you just how little I still know about this game. In what situation would that be bad? Well, I guess that would, because that would like interrupt certain reactions. Basically, it hurts physical damage buff. Oh, characters who don't need pyro. Used to be an issue for physical characters. Pyro infusion and a mono element team. Interesting. And like cryo on like someone's cryo can be overridden to pyro. Weird. Okay, that makes sense. I can see that being really useful, but in a very specific use case. Interesting.
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay. That means facts and logic.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tatara Sunna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
This guy's voice is great.
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location, the missing details, a mysterious person. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it. There's no getting around that.
Okay, but...
He said but.
Did one of them just mention Tatara Sunna? But that's all the way in Inazuma. Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here's just going about their business. Maybe it really is just Paimon. Guess people here are free to research pretty much anything.
Let's go eavesdrop.
Great. let's go find out what this Tatara Sunna mystery is all about.
It starts a stealth quest, a mandatory stealth mission.
All right, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing kabukimono will end up being the main focus of this paper. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Burst through the wall like the Kool-Aid man. Looking for me? If you're looking for the traveler, no, looking for me?
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Yes, indeed. That's not this guy's voice. That's not that guy's accent.
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
If you don't believe me, I'll go.
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma.
I was about to say that this guy's drip looks like Inazuman clothing.
This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Oh, Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking.
Lacking?
Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatara Sunna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to learn more.
I see.
Sorry, I'm clueless.
My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatara Sunna's past. But who'd have thought that...
Jackson, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you and welcome aboard.
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatara Sunna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive or a first read?
So what do you think? Okay.
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatara Sunna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why?
Jeez.
Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabukimono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
Like me.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This kabukimono lived in Tatara Sunna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens? Seems kind of fishy to Paimon.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow, did I get lucky!
Wow!
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the Government Records Office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma over 400 years ago. Even back then, Tatara Sunna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
We never finished the Tatara Sunna quest, did we? It was like, hey, wait 24 hours, and I was like, I'm just gonna walk away from this quest. Could it be?
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in this story now?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
I'm pretty familiar with a descendant of the Kaedahara clan.
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the
Interesting.
last practitioners of Ishin art.
Interesting.
Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
So what do you mean? There's more?
Oh, yes!
Go!
Of course! How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years as a writer, this is by far the most.
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by
What the
Akaba's
frick was
teacher,
that? Oh.
the kabukimono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet or a puppet in quotation marks?
A puppet?
The Shogun puppet that the Electro Archon made should be ruling Inazuma with her as we speak. It couldn't be her. The kabukimono has to be the balladeer, but what was he doing 400 years ago in Tatara Sunna?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
Paimon, don't you say anything. If you speak, I won't do anything. I love you, Paimon.
No, Paimon just meant, how creepy. The way you described it makes it sound like a ghost story.
Shut it, Paimon. When Tia turned around and said that, I was like, oh. Oh, okay. I guess that's how this conversation's going.
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's exactly what my book is about. Please, take a look.
Extract 1. A man arrived in Tatara Sunna around 3 in the afternoon. From afar, he spied laborers walking along the mountain roads toward the factories, their shoes scuffling along the jutting stones. They walked like people convinced that so long as they reached the fire raging in the mountain's belly, they might extract from it gems beyond price. The mood that the sight inspired was ineffable, beyond mere description from those who were present to witness it. The man barked a cheerful greeting, and sprinted to join the procession. There, a towering character who stood half a head taller greeted him with a heavy slap on the back, and yet his words were filled with respect. Do my eyes deceive me? Sir Miyazaki, I cannot think that the return trip here from Inazuma City could have been easy on you. Miyazaki smiled like a young man taking the first steps on their journey, expression relaxed. Why, Katsuragi, Inazuma is the realm of the almighty Shogun. I sailed upon the fastest ship, strode upon the swiftest sea routes. What dangers could I have possibly faced? And what about the good news? There was some, naturally. The two burst into uproarious laughter, roughhousing with the other workers, what the hell, until the path's end. A young man dressed in a oh, holy balls, this is long. I could read this whole thing. Audiobook time. I could read this whole thing, however, it's going to be a long frickin', a long read. Here, let me skim this real quick. Images, linen shirts. Three pillars of the Ishin art. We should try some of these new forging techniques, but Kaidahara says yay or nay. That's interesting. Kabukimono is by the coast. Sunset fell to the accompaniment of darkness. The bands of twilight show themselves not. I don't know how significant all of this is, but I want to at least understand it, because it probably you're going to click off of this and Paimon's going to be like, I didn't understand any of that, anyways, and they'll move on. But at least this will be in the in my archive. 10 people perished.
Oh, and please read my essay draft as well.
I'm not reading that.
Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it.
I'm normally not like I'm normally not like that. I normally read pretty much everything. And if I was playing this by myself, I would read every letter of that. But I'm also streaming right now. I don't want to bog down the stream with a half hour of reading this dude's dissertation.
Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Has this guy even written an essay before? Oh, Man of War, thank you for the sub. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate you. Wow, thank you. Woo! Wait, when did we? Oh, jeez, never mind. I was like, when did we hit when did we hit 635 followers? But no, we hit 630 last stream. Jeez. Okay.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going to get.
Great.
Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess.
Drawing board?
Give me some time. I need to find a new angle on this.
Drawing board? You need to figure out a new angle on saying that word. I'll leave you to it.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
See you. It's been real.
So, that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the balladeer, doesn't it?
Obviously.
Okay, then, even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. There's no point in...
Speaking of which... What's wrong, Eve? What's wrong?
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like...
Hat guy.
The balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Either needs glasses. He's just out for a casual stroll. Follow the figure. And the wind. Let the wind follow. That's not the line. Sorry. That's what A says when she meets with Venti. Let the wind follow. Oh my gosh, forgot about the music in this place. This kind of looks like a face. Eye, big old nose. It's like, okay. Oh, I won't ruin this place. Yes, I will. It reminds me of Squidward. Sorry to ruin Nahida's prison, but...
There you are. Nahida, bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah, it's him!
Sure enough, you're here.
Indeed.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? Aren't you supposed to be locked up? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
I mean, she kind of already established that at the end of the Archon quest, that she was, in essence, she was like, pretty much for all intents and purposes, she adopted him. Like,
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
I have no response for you.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you, considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond. Wait a second. Farmer? You mean he's not a Harbinger anymore?
He probably got kicked out of the cool kids club once he got aced by a child.
I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
You know what's bad when Nahida just roasted you, so he tossed you out like trash.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be.
What a crying shame.
Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
I mean, we're chill with Tartaglia, and he tried to murder us too. Like, it's kind of just what you guys do. You try to kill us, we beat you into the ground, and then we're cool.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you serious about this? Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit.
For me?
Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul.
I'd forgotten about that detail while I was chasing waifus.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that? Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category.
This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am.
Was he in that cutscene? Not cutscene. Was he in that video we watched where Tartaglia and Arlecchino were having that meeting at the big table? He wasn't, was he? Because he would have still been wandering the world and not up there. He wasn't there.
He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect.
Interesting. That's interesting. He still has traces of its power remain in him? Well, that was some good grammar. Some traces of the power still remain in him even though he no longer has it. That's interesting. And he was because he was exposed to the Gnosis for such a brief period of time as well.
The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
What if he lies to you?
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him!
I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires most of all.
A harem.
Our minds have connected several times before.
Sorry.
There's a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns.
Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful way of putting that.
As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it.
Thank you, Nahida. Everyone's doing stuff for the benefit of the... Like what Miko said, like trading the Gnosis for Aether's life was worth it. It seems like people know far more about him. Kind of like the thing we've been talking about for such a long time. It's like Aether is New Game Plus. Like when Lumine said we've always had enough time. It's like it's like she's saying the choices have already been made. We know, like, I know how this ends. We've already gone down this road before. You just don't remember. Everyone's doing so much for his benefit, and it seems like they know more than they're letting on.
It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help?
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside.
Got it. Glad I can help.
Great. Thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
Wow, it looks pretty different here compared to last
Oh, no, I
time.
messed up my framing. Great.
The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Haven't heard you yawn for a long time because you're never in our parties. I'm okay working with the Balladeer because we beat him. Because remember, canonically, that was Aether by himself. That wasn't Shogun and Kazuha and everyone else. Canonically, that was just Aether there. We beat him when he was at his strongest, and now he's much less weak. So if he does try to betray us, we can just beat him again. I'm okay working with him.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
Nahida sent me to babysit you. Call me Uncle Ether.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards, but right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information.
Sounds horrifying.
You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Understood.
Fine. Let's call it truce. But only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are going to be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
Just focus on the task at hand.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Our internet history is in this tree.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow.
Whoa.
So this is the inside of Irminsul.
It's different than what I imagined.
Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Interesting.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Tevat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so say we did go running off in here. What would happen? What are you smirking at?
He's like, go ahead, try it.
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
Ooh.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
Weird. Huh.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth.
Am I supposed to walk away from that thing, or?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little?
Oh, no, never mind.
We're here.
I thought it was, we're here. I thought I was doing it wrong.
What a huge tree!
This is the center of Irminsul. All the information in the world is flowing through it.
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
He hasn't put up any resistance, and he seems good at working on the front line. Maybe he had a similar role in the Fatui? First Akaba and Sawada's stories, now this. What a strange individual.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk?
Nahida? Is this a telepathic conversation? Is this phone line secured and he can't hear us?
Yes. I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
I'm guessing that you don't want us to disturb the Balladeer.
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great! So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say.
Yes, and he seems to excel at doing odd jobs for others.
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers.
Is it about his past, the betrayals, and the other events in Inazuma?
Well done. Smart and attentive as always.
Actually, I caught a glimpse of a few things when I ran into Hypatia at Paris DI. Yeah, that was a very...
You made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatara Sunna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that?
If you mean the mysterious events, the kabukimono and so on, yes. I know about all of that.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatara Sunna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Gesse got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatara Sunna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
I don't know, Paimon. Maybe the fact that you're moving all over the place without moving your mouth. Meowth.
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation.
We have every right to keep things confidential.
Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you.
I have been traipsing around the half of Tevat up to this point, over half of Tevat up to this point, screaming, "Where's my sister?" to every single person I come in contact with. Every conversation with you is hard work, but your attitude is better than I thought.
Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself, and making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
Oh, you made a sapling.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Sunna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
That name. Niwa was the man in charge of Tatara Sunna. Plus, he belongs to the lineage of Ishin art.
Whoa!
I have been in Tatara Sunna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatara Sunna is a warm, welcoming place, like a giant village. People are gainfully employed, their lives have purpose. They are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatara Sunna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown, all passing on their legacy. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. At least not on the same timescale. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatara Sunna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma, and it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher.
Escher.
But is this really the truth?
MC Escher.
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected, because I didn't want to speculate, and I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the kabukimono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my craft.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act. We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatara Sunna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Oh.
A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
Jeez.
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for.
Oh my god, assassinated.
I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatara Sunna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
This is Dottore. I was like, whose voice is that? That is definitely Dottore's voice.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What are you really trying to accomplish by all this? Why go to all this trouble?
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
I thought they were gonna splash the like Fatui like name splash screen right there for a second.
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet.
I don't like that implication at all.
Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead. What other reason would a human have for befriending one who is not of our kind?
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us. He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use other people. The only ones who think like that are people like you.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat.
Why are you still monologuing? He's already dead.
I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a pity.
Damn.
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Dottore!
Yeah, I'm sure he's doing just peachy after that, Paimon.
Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine?
He was the one behind the Tatara Sunna incident.
But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
This betrayal was a lie that he has believed for hundreds of years. Was this part of the doctor's experiment? If the betrayal never happened, it existed only in his imagination. But where does this leave him?
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
Yeah, let's walk towards the void.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
What a bombshell.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatara Sunna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the kabukimono to live with the people of Tatara Sunna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as a mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants.
Whoa.
The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it had protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatara Sunna without looking back.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Add that to the list of reasons we need to break his legs. Being betrayed and abandoned by a close friend is sure to cause great resentment. Now we know what was behind his decision to take revenge on Raiden Gokuden 100 years ago. But that doesn't mean that vengeance was the right decision.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Yeah, like A abandoning him for no reason, not for no reason, but like Abe abandoning him, like it doesn't excuse what he does, but it's a reason. But it doesn't. You can understand the reason why he became what he is. It doesn't excuse his actions, but at least you can understand the steps it took to get there.
Tatara, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing?
Hey, it's been a few seconds. You all good now?
Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend.
We just want to make sure this doesn't affect the plan.
It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
I think we can cross him off the list of suspicion for the time being, Paimon. He's been much more cooperative than either of us have been right now with the actual plan.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders.
Weird.
Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Teyvat.
Which makes sense.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Not unexpected, but still, thank you.
Don't thank me just yet.
Okay.
You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria. and lived with your sister for a time.
The Jester, another Fatui Harbinger. Huh.
I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me.
What do you want to know?
Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head?
Are you trying to brainwash me? Are you trying to brainwash me?
No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past?
I don't think so. Why would you ask me that?
Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping me.
What the what? That look, did he see me hesitate? But that was because I know about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata.
So long.
What the? I didn't even get to read that.
Get yourselves out of here quickly.
By not denying it immediately, I gave him the answer he needed. Why does he know?
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatara Sunna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow. Oh no, he's really gone.
Of course he is. Did we really just look, or did we really just like take a circle around the tree for a second and like, oh no, he's very clearly teleported away, Paimon.
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
We're out! And we're at, an inn or something?
That makes more sense, Monday. He doesn't know about Rukkhadevata, but he just knows that you know something about what he asked. That I hesitated and...
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you.
I want to help.
I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before?
Paimon doesn't remember Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, so it'd be... At least we don't think she knows. She could be fronting. And the balladeer's question was a strange one. It's hard to explain in full, and the truth might be very distressing for Paimon. I'll skip the part about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata for now and focus on the balladeer.
He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible!
Oh no, I yawned. It's not easy, that's for sure.
Right! You can't just rewrite history. All that stuff happened already in real life. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it.
That's a way of looking at it, yeah.
So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Paimon's so confused.
Maybe he wants to erase himself from history.
Huh?
Good job. You okay?
Sorry. Paimon accidentally... It's the balladeer's fault for causing Paimon all this mental stress. But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul?
I don't know, Paimon, is it? You tell me. Not necessarily, but maybe. I don't know.
Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. And it's still not working. Ugh. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too?
Indeed. If the balladeer does erase himself from Irminsul, many people in Inazuma will be affected. Can't imagine what that situation would look like. Worst case scenario, it will affect everyone with a connection to the Raiden Gokuden. Kazuha, Ayaka, Ayato. What will this mean? They'll disappear?
There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be able to sleep a wink tonight.
Yeah, let's go to sleep in this room again. I'm sure nothing will happen when we wake up.
So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things? Heck, if that doesn't work, Paimon's probably gonna collapse of anxiety here. Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers. Tea break pancakes. Cream stew. Sauteed matsutake.
How is sticky honey roast not at the top of that list, Paimon?
And Dragon chili chicken. Almond tofu. Satisfying salad. Oh,
Straight up put him to sleep. Whoa, Paimon POV. POV, Paimon of view. Nope, that doesn't make any sense. What's wrong?
What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about. What was it again?
You were getting so worried about the situation with the balladeer, you started listing foods.
The balladeer?
Oh, sharks.
Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name though.
Fuck. He did it. He did it. He did it. He did it. Paimon doesn't remember the balladeer. He actually pulled it off. But how did he have that ability? That doesn't make any sense. How did he do it?
What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said?
It's nothing.
So, the balladeer. Is that someone's name? Cause it sounds like a nickname or something.
Also, this soundtrack is haunting. If this is really happening, I need to know what else has changed. Paimon, come with me.
Okay, sure. Where are we going?
I want to go back to Inazuma.
Huh?
She's like, what?
Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
No time to explain. Let's just get over there. Super weird. Super weird. Coffin. Thank you for thank you for the prime. My goodness, thank you. Yeah, he can use teleports in canon. People see them as ancient gimmicks. They're just like random pylons that are just scattered about the world. But to the foreign traveler, their function becomes quite apparent. So he can teleport around canonically. Like that's actually a thing that he's doing.
It's been a while.
Pardon me, I'd like to ask a question, if I may.
Of course. Go ahead.
Could you tell me that story one more time? The one about the Raiden Gokuden?
No. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well. I'll tell you what I know once more. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another as generations of bladesmiths honed and perfected their craft until they became 5 distinct traditions. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline. And for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art alive. But fortunately, Kaede Harakazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokuden 5. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
Oh yeah, we were! bad now. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too. It seems like such a shame.
And what was the reason behind their decline?
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed.
Minnie, thanks for the first time chat. Welcome, welcome.
In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale.
Yeah, well, we're used to that.
The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatara Sunna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee, but he rushed to the scene, hoping to prevent a disaster. Tatara Sunna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but neither of them made it out. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent-up anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
The legend of the Raiden Gokuden has changed. Someone else attacked the swordsmiths. It looks like the balladeer did something in Irminsul, but it seems Niwa still died.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Have you seen Kazuha recently? I know he's usually in my party, but have you seen him recently?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea. He seemed well.
Why is he back in Inazuma after the war? I thought he left with Beto and rejoined the Crux fleet. So he still exists, and he's still the same Kazuha I know. Things don't seem as bad as I feared last night. That's all. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon. On to the next stop. Lead the way, traveler. Paimon will be right behind you.
The Yashiro Commission. Shore leave.
We're here! This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters, so...
Traveler, it's been a while.
Hello.
If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate. They're not here right now.
Damn it! Just trying to visit my girlfriend!
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
Thanks. We'll take you up on that offer. Can we take a walk in the courtyard?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should be okay.
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say?
Ma'am, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you.
Well...
What would you like to know?
How are the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato these days?
Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all kinds of meetings and occasionally paying visits to some local organizations on the Commissioner's behalf.
Why does she sound kind of drunk?
As for the Commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That much hasn't changed. Although, he does seem to be in a rather good mood these days.
So pretty much business as usual in the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
Ayato is still the Yashiro Commissioner. Ayaka is still the Lady of the House. No changes there. As far as I can see, nothing's changed in the Yashiro Commission either. I was expecting as much, but it's still a big relief to know that the Kamisato siblings are both safe and well.
Well, got any more questions?
I actually haven't technically met Ayato yet. I haven't done his quest. That's all for now. Many thanks.
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often. But I'm sure you must be far too busy to have time for that. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's always saying how talented you are and how much she admires you.
Oh my gosh, she talks like the ancient trees in Lord of the Rings.
I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. So you're not just Miss Kamisato's knight in shining armor, you know. You're a hero to us all.
Well, I'm flattered. Miss Kamisato is knight in shining armor, by the way.
Alright, goodbye for now. Where are we going next?
Probably a place that is blocked by a previous quest.
Great! Goodbye, ma'am! Don't worry, we'll see ourselves out.
All right, then. Take care now. Hope to see you soon.
Hope to see you soon, too. Lay off the wine.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
No.
Yep, everything's taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, shit. Yeah. This. This is probably gonna have to be the whole of that quest, right? Like, probably gonna be like the rest of that quest, right? In order to open up the rest of Tatara Sunna. parts don't take long. Okay. I'm only gonna do it up until it unlocks the rest of the interlude. And then we'll just leave him hanging again. I did wander around here a little bit, just trying to grab chests and do just a tiny bit of exploring. My strategy for dealing with the not sheer cold, you know, the damage mechanic, the electro mechanic, was I just ran as Shinobu with characters that had off-field, I had strong off-field, and just used Shinobu as the main, so I could constantly have her healing up 24/7. Who else did I have? I think I just ran Yelan and Xingqiu, right? People that had solid off fields. I think that's what it was, actually. This is my Law and Order team, right? Let me modify... I'll just modify this one. No, I'll modify Law and Order. I'll just put Xingqiu in slot 1.
For justice.
For justice! Oh, we need to go... Let's go activate the quest instead of just wandering in here. Is this at the point... When did focus mode come in, by the way? This does not have focus mode. What the... Oh. Ah, jeez. Whoops. Okay. It'll take a while longer. It's been weeks. Have you gathered all the necessary data? Ah, it's you. Wonderful. We haven't quite collected the data you need yet, although we believe it'll take a little more time. I don't know what this guy's... I don't remember what this guy's voice was. That said, I've taken this opportunity to think about the structure of the emergency purifier. That was his voice. Is this an emergency measure too? I suppose, although I would hesitate to provide this sort of aid during normal customer service. According to our previous discussions, we must deal with a two-pronged problem, the Fatui and the Tatarigami within. I trust you will be able to deal with the Fatui. My part in this, therefore, is to deal with the Tatarigami energy. This emergency purifier is a device that I have had purpose built for that task. However, I'm going to need your help to complete it. In what way? We will need some special materials to ensure this device functions smoothly with the Mikage furnace. Crystal marrow, which contains an inert form of Tatarigami energy, is an ideal candidate for this task. In truth, the secret of the famed jade steel is that a special method is used to add this very material during the forging process to increase the strength of the metal. Of course, the special method in question is a trade secret. If memory serves, this crystalline ore can be found nearby. Please help me obtain 3 chunks. I've already got plenty of that. Well then, you have my thanks. Remember, it's 3 chunks of crystal marrow. Please bring them back once you've got them. I got them. Boop, boop, boop. Thank you, truly. These shall form the basic structure of our device. Now we need to do is wait for the beacons to collect enough data. Then once we have that on hand, I will make a few tweaks to this device accordingly. Once this is all ready, I'll put up let's put a decisive end to this incident. He turned into a pillar. Over there. Actually, having 2 hydro off fields might not be ideal. Let's put Kaya in here. Or Kazuboy? Kaya? Who's another off-field?
I'll bring my seasoning.
I'll bring my seasoning. Oh, I unlocked the AQ again? Well, bye, Xavier. See you in another month and a half. Okay. Oh, and it automatically started. Okay, so this marker is the quest, which is why it's gold and not blue. Now, will this lock up again once it progresses?
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the traveler in Paimon?
Oh, I got his voice totally wrong.
Xavier? What are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific area. There, that's me. So what about you two?
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Do you know much about Tatara Sunna? Do you know much about Tatara Sunna?
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away.
How well do you understand the history of this area?
Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatara Sunna years ago. They said it's all true, the history here.
Go on, I'm listening. He kind of sounds like he's got, like, I can imagine him with a stronger mid-Atlantic accent. He sounds like a radio host.
Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatara Sunna starts a long time ago. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation, goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then too. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
Mechanic, huh? Looks like the doctor still sabotaged the furnace, leading to all the ensuing chaos.
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatara Sunna? Come on, ask already.
I am.
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge?
Pretty much. Anyways, one last question.
Sure, go ahead.
Have you ever heard of a kabukimono connected to the Tatara Sunna?
A kabukimono? No, I can't say that I have. I do know the word, Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort of person that I'd like to meet, actually.
Like vision holders, like playable characters, eccentric types always dressed to the nines.
But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabukimono where Tatara Sunna is concerned.
So there's no more kabukimono. Did the balladeer really manage to erase himself from history completely? If so, he must have wanted to change the world and revert everything back to the way it was. But so far, it looks like the majority of changes have only affected himself. Well, thank you.
Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy to help. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for.
Let's go back.
Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, it seems like it's really troubling you. Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile.
What the?
No matter what happens, Paimon will always be there for you.
Thank you, Paimon.
Hey, don't mention it. All right, let's head off and go meet Nahida.
Weird. All right, see ya, bro. See you in another several months. I don't mean to keep ignoring his quest. Also... Hey, Battle Pass 6. They gave me 16 grand. If the ever... let's claim my daily commissions and then continue that. We want to go see what A says. A. So this is about like in the actual. I hadn't thought about that. Did she have a line before though? Oh, you know who did is Nahida. I know that she did.
When he...
Is that the same? I don't know. I don't remember if I read this before.
Ad Astra Ab. Thank you for complete.
Just here from my primos. I'm sorry, Catherine. Ad Astra, give me my primos. Thank you for complete. Give me my primos.
Outside the office.
I charge a higher rate to meet outside the cabbage. Okay. Back up top to Sursthana. I still need my GPS when I'm wandering around Sumeru City.
Take it easy.
I still need my GPS when I'm driving around in the city I live in. What am I? Who am I? Catherine, stop interrupting me! None of you travelers ever let me finish my sentences. Sorry, Catherine. She's very patient with us. Wow, it's a long way up here. Climbing a whole tree, imagine that. Oh, I was goofing around almost. Goofing around and almost ran off the edge.
Hey, it's them.
Hi.
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Are you still talking about the quote-unquote essay?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last time. Obviously.
Okay.
Still looking for more info about Tatara Sunna, huh? Should we join them?
Perfect. These two have researched Tatara Sunna's past. Let's hear what they have to say.
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress.
The article the article that you let me read last time was great. Can I read it again?
Huh? Oh, of course.
Wait, this is the one that I skipped over, so I'm not gonna know what was different in the first place. The mechanic. Oh wait, it highlighted something. Mechanic. Long have I delved through many texts and documents, but I was ultimately unable to decipher even a specter of a clue as to his background. Still, mention of the mechanic grew scarcer in the aftermath of the Tatara Sunna incident. I speculate that, instead of the mechanic possibly being a figure woven from overripe imaginations, he actually did exist, and perhaps even had a hand in the events that took place in Tatara Sunna. Oh, there's more! There's more! A great many of these rumors revolved around the yokai, who are also very characteristic of Inuzuma's folk histories. A very small portion, however, mentioned of the word outsider, should be known of the appearance of such a character who is suspected to be a real person in a very curious case. Foreign mechanic once visited Tatara Sunna. Seemed to behave suspiciously, wandering around essential restricted areas. Often stared into the fur, seemingly to check on its condition. Spent a substantial amount of time watching the local residents as well. Judging from the area, it was not uncommon to see cross-cultural exchanges of technical knowledge in places such as Tatara Sunna. After traveling across the tide, foreign experts being welcome in the region was likely not unreasonable either. Yet calamity came not long after this exchange of knowledge, which hints at high potential for the causation between these events. However, some current residents believe that these assumptions were merely the result of the forebears' overactive imaginations attempting to theorize how things actually unfolded.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well. Here.
Miyazaki hid his grin. Upon hearing this, Niwa released the lizard from his hand into Katsuragi's palm. But just as words were to be exchanged, someone came walking nearby, their footsteps steady and confident. The head that appeared by the door was that of one from abroad. The newcomer placed some lunchboxes to one side. Sure, what you meal? Are you not hungry? I already ate. Hope you also find time to sate your hunger soon. You are, I guess, sir. With a nod, he departed. Like a falling spear, the black cloud reached the bottom of the boat and was joined in this bereftness of direction. Like a charging beast, they plunged into the shoreline. Scant steps away, the mechanic lunged, slowly approaching the grand wreck. Not but half an arm was left of the one who had cried out for help, and with a plop, it landed at the mechanic's feet, who crouched to better study the object, straining against the urge to take a bite. Yet he did not, for the dark cloud swirling down had already picked the remnants of the ship clean. The second the ship was sent, followed by a third and a fourth, each who left... This fucking weird. Then a second ship was sent, followed by a third and a fourth, each who left to seek salvation did so under foul skies and bleak fortunes. Reason dictated that they should not have risked anyone else, but the situation to Tatara Sunna was severe. They needed to gain aid from Inazuma, even should it cost them more lives. The content has changed, another effect of tampering with the information in Irminsul. The balladeer said he erased 2 of his names. If he really succeeded, it must have taken all of his might. But still.
Well, what do you think?
A masterpiece!
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them what we learned?
Sure.
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma, and...
Wow. So many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Are they just not gonna question that we flew all the way to Inazuma and back in one afternoon?
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Arminoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it. These guys are really into this.
Oh, I'm busy. Bye.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the information.
Yes.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Yes.
Will do.
Talk to Nahida. We used to buy him on to carry us. Drink water. Hydration reminder. Squidward.
Nahida, we're here!
Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then he decided he wanted to go to Inazuma.
I was investigating the situation with the balladeer.
The balladeer? It sounds like some kind of code name.
Shoot.
You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me?
Even Nahida doesn't remember, just like last time. Any changes to Irminsul affect her as well. The balladeer acted quickly. He acted real fast. He finished erasing himself before Nahida could stop him. I'm the only one who still remembers the things that were erased. Once again, I am the record keeper.
Traveler? Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
There are things that have happened, and only I can remember. I have to tell you the truth. With a heavy heart, you piece back together the story that was broken and scattered across time. There was once one named the Balladeer, created by the Electro Archon. He was a puppet who lived among men. After a series of events in Tatara Sunna, the Balladeer, thinking he had been thrice betrayed, left Inazuma to roam the world beyond. With no trust for humans and only loathing for the gods, he bore his grudge for years as he grew in strength, then returned to Inazuma to take his revenge. He tried in vain to become a deity with a gnosis and ended up losing everything. Finally, he entered Irminsul and learned the truth behind his betrayal. Knowing that his entire life was built on lies, he did the unthinkable in an attempt to reverse his tragic fate.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past.
But how was he even able to do that?
As the traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it.
Interesting.
Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because, well, because he literally changed the world?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it. The traveler comes from a world beyond Tevat. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul, and it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect him. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible when you think about it.
Yeah.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it?
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that.
I'm not really sure. We were enemies after all. I don't know his perspective on all this, so I can't say why he did something so extreme. Did he want to reset everything, or save someone? Or did he want to completely undo his existence? Everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all. Maybe that's all there is to it. I still remember the question he asked. He asked me specifically, and my hesitation gave him his answer. I hesitated because I witnessed Greater Lord Rukkhadevata erase her own existence, but I can't tell Nahida that. To put it another way, I know why the Balladeer was so sure it could work, but I can't tell them that.
Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share?
He chose such a radical option, and yet...
It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right?
Yes.
Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatara Sunna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. The story makes sense. Every part of it. The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself. even though he didn't have much strength left.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
Yeah, he changed the world in many ways, and yet the dead still didn't get a second chance. Those fated to a tragic end could not be saved. What exactly did he want to fight back against? The betrayals in his life, or did he wish he'd never existed at all?
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one.
Bloop.
It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Surprising, the information is presented to you in a way that resembles a fairy tale.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
This matches everything I said.
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale that somehow has something to do with the balladeer?
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else.
Hold on. So this record survived from the past?
Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabukimono in other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the balladeer entered Irminsul.
Smart.
That's incredible! What a great idea!
And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew he'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told us, the now erased life of the balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. I'd left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
Those cutaways are always so... Those cutaways are always so beautiful. So pretty.
I remember now. This is not just the balladeer story. It is his very own memories. I made a backup so that it would be preserved no matter what happened.
Hi, Raiders! Hi! Hi, people! AJ, thank you for the raid. Oh my gosh, hello! Welcome, welcome! Thank you for the raid. I'm Conry, Squirrel VTuber. This is my chat. Chat, say hello. Spam our acorn emote, aka the nut emote. Hi everyone, welcome Raiders. Thank you for the raid, AJ. I appreciate you. I'm a Squirrel VTuber. Doing a blind playthrough of Genshin Impact. Oh jeez, that's what this game's called. You done got me stun locked over here. I couldn't even remember what game we're playing. I'm doing a blind playthrough of Genshin. Hello. Quest is going great. We're doing the interlude, the Sumeru interlude, depression impact. Well, welcome, Raiders. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh my gosh, thank you for the follow, AJ. I've only been streaming I've only been streaming for what's it been 6 months. I started mid to end of July last year. And this is how much this has grown in such a short amount of time. Super Banana, also thank you for the follow. Thank you. Bawling with tears impact. Trauma impact. Yeah. My goodness. Well, thank you very much for the raid. Feel free to stick around. In the about page. Oh my gosh, my throat. In the about page of my in the panels of my about page here on Twitch. We've got my YouTube there where I upload all my VODs and other videos and edited videos, stuff like that, shorts, clips. My Twitter, the Discord's down there. We do have a Discord. You can feel free to hop into the Discord. We've got some great conversation and just a good hangout there. So the fun part of the story, we talk about a black kitty's loneliness. So yeah, feel free to hang out and have fun. Thanks again. I appreciate it. All right, back to trauma impact.
To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
Which is so interesting and so smart that she thought of that in advance. You know? that maybe she even like had suspicions that he was gonna do something sketch in there, and she was like, I'm gonna back this up just in case. It's interesting though, like how would she know that he would have because we knew that there's a like it's possible to change the past, but she doesn't remember Rukkhadevata, so like it's so interesting. She is the god of wisdom, which is true. It's so interesting that she thought of that she like maybe not even directly thinking, what if he changes the past? I better back this up. Better back up my files. But maybe it wasn't even her directly thinking that, like overtly thinking, what if he changes the past? Maybe it was just like a feeling like, this seems like a good thing to do.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke.
The balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail, that Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
Never had this feeling. Never had this feeling before. It feels like life is as insignificant as a feather.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the question still troubles us. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination. And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahida's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat? We can pick up this heavy conversation again later.
All right, classic Paimon.
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out for a walk to clear his head?
You got it. Come on, traveler. You need to get out of your head for a while. You'll feel much better after taking a walk. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up.
Is it discussed when Aether and Lumine, Paimon's stomach override, was it discussed that when Aether and Lumine first came to, like, when they first, in the start of the game, the starting cutscene, has it been discussed, or is it just theory, that did the cataclysm happen and they were leaving, they were trying to escape to the next world, or was it they toured Teyvat for a bit and then left, then we're like, we're gonna move on to the next world, and then the Cube Lady appeared. And after the Cube Lady imprisoned both of us, she then went down to Teyvat and caused the cataclysm after we tried escaping. Kind of unsure and unclear. I can't remember if like that's been discussed, if it's told me that. So much has like been dropped. Like there's been so many lore drops and stuff that it's during or right after. Because that's another thing I was thinking is like, were they trying to evacuate from the cataclysm? And then the Cube Lady was just like we are still so far, like we are so far into this game, and not just that, not just the fact that like, yeah, we're over halfway through the opened up areas, we're halfway through the released Archon quests and stuff like that. Not just that, but we are so many hours into this quest. Every single one of these regions would be the whole game of, like, take a random Ubisoft game, a random EA game, a random, like, so many other publishers. Mondstadt would be one game. Liyue would be one game. Inazuma would be one game. We are so many hours into this quest because what is it in total? It's like several hours for one Archon quest. And we're this far into the game's story, and there's still so much unanswered about Lumine.
I'll remind you again.
No, you won't. Not if I switch away from you. Sorry. I'm sorry, Yenfei. You interrupted my train of thought. I mentioned it in the mid-game review, which for the newcomers, my best performing video, the one I'm extremely proud shut it, Yenfei. The one I'm extremely proud of is on my YouTube. I did a mid-game review after I finished the Inazuma Archon quest, and in that mid-game review, I mentioned that we're so far into this game, even at the point of finishing, just at the point of finishing Inazuma, we're so far into the game, and there's so many questions, but in a way that's satisfying, not in a way that's frustrating or like the game is not answering questions in a frustrating way. It's in a way where the game is still holding all of the cards, and it just hasn't played its hand yet. And it's so fascinating that the more we go, it keeps that energy up. Where it has all the cards in its hand and it hasn't played its answer, and the more questions that it doesn't answer, it still is not frustrating. It's not like, oh, well, where are they gonna answer that question? Or when's that thread gonna be tidied up? Oh, this is frustrating and annoying. I never get that feeling, oh, I didn't open my glider in time. Almost had a dead deer. Haven't had a dead deer in a while since we got Zhongli. Oh, why am I healing when I have Shinobro? Where are we going? Oh, wait, hang on. Where are we going? Oh, I'm just leaving the opposite way. Okay. I was like, where are we going? Just take a walk around the Grand Bazaar. Yeah, and have so much more to do as well. The number of world quests. I haven't tackled any world quests. I've gotten like 2% of the way through the Aranara quest. There's still stuff in Liyue to do. There's still stuff in Mondstadt to do. There's still stuff in Inazuma to do. There's so much content in this. By the way, 100% of the chasm. I got the final chest in the chasm. It was one where it was behind a barrier here, and I had to go down to the underground mines and then move up. Because I have the treasure compass for Liyue. But there's still so much to do. There's these two areas right here, very much like this empty space in Chenyu. There's still Chenyu Vale stuff to do. There's all of Fontaine. There's all of Natlan. And there's Snezhnaya. There's yet to be released parts as well. There's still stuff, even 4 years on. There's still things to be released. Oh my gosh, where the frick are we going? I don't know if I'm planning to 100% all of Teyvat on stream. I will definitely be trying to get every single Oculus and every single treasure chest. I don't know if I'll stream that. When I get to the point of like, if I'm at the point, you know, this will be some time down the road. But if I get to the point where I'm about to 100%, when I'm about to ding AR60 or something, you know, I will do significant things on stream. Like I ascended, beta was my first one to be final phased, and my first one to be ascended to level 90. I did that on stream because those are significant events to do. Jut. Take a walk around here. Oh, okay.
We're here! What should we eat first?
Paimon. I have a nagging feeling like there's something I'm missing. Something important that I'm forgetting.
Hey, are you gonna answer or what?
No. Sorry, it's just... Give me a minute. I'm still processing.
Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. Then we can get something to eat.
Come on, brain, let's dig this out. It's gotta be in there somewhere. It was something about Irminsul, about deleting and about deleting oneself. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, forbidden knowledge, Nahida.
What is it? Have you figured it all out?
Gah. That was it. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. She said that no one can erase themselves from existence, not even her. Otherwise, why would she need to create her own reincarnation to Lesser Lord Kusanali to do the deletion for her? There would be no point.
Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
Right. So if Skara tried to delete himself, can't tell Paimon. She doesn't know about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But this is, and also she shouldn't. Like, he keeps on going through these things of like, should I tell Nahida? Should I tell Paimon? You shouldn't, because that was the point of Rukkhadevata's sacrifice. But this is a crucially important detail. It's simply not possible for the balladeer to completely erase his own existence. In which case the question is, what happened to him?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
You got different drip now. All that for a wardrobe change.
Hey! Hey, wait!
You mean me?
No, not you. That kid. Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh Sunsettias and ran off.
Now, does he remember?
Look,
Does
if you're
he?
gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? Work's too boring for you? Or has the big city got too many distractions?
You're dressed like this to be an assistant of a stall keeper?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss.
Sorry, boss.
I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be hard to focus.
Who's that guy? You know him or something?
That guy is the balladeer.
He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo.
You're a strange one.
You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, you keep letting yourself get distracted. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be able to afford to.
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on an outsider like me.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsettias, and I promised the lady down the street I'd deliver a fruit bowl this evening.
Oh, is it his birthday? I'll have to check my mail. I think it is his birthday, isn't it?
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
Stop.
Stop.
I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my luck. But I figured you'd start asking for something in return eventually. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights. Are you a drifter or something?
Thanks for stopping by, Man of War. Appreciate you. Have a good sleep.
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later.
Wanderer.
First, let me get those fruits you needed. Sunsettias, was it? I'll be right back.
I was wondering, because it's been kind of risky, like in hindsight, it's been kind of risky the amount of time I've spent in the character archive just like checking out characters. Wink. I was wondering, like, how does that name come in? Because he had a lot of names. So I was curious how that would come into play. Also, it didn't occur to me the costume change for some reason, which is good that it didn't. But
Hey, what do we do
Let's follow him.
Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see you.
Oh my gosh, is this a mandatory stealth section again? Okay, it's not. Perhaps he just named himself out of the things he do. I'm super awesome. Sumeru music slaps. It's so good. Sweet Flower. Sumeru music is so good. I don't know why. For some reason, I feel like switching to my Sniper Bloom team. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Just give him our Sunsetti. We have a lot. Not as much as you guys, but
yeah, this'll do.
What's your guys' Sunsetti account? Thousands, probably.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his Sunsettias? Isn't that a bit too cruel?
Shush!
Oh, all right.
Shut it, Paimon.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back.
If I wasn't seeing this with my own eyes, I'd never believe it.
Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us.
Paimon, shut it.
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice.
You're right. You're right. You right. We were following you.
Have we met before?
I never realized how big Sunsettias were. Holy.
No, we haven't met. But you know me?
I do.
I have no recollection.
It's complicated, but I do know you.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
I can prove it. You have a birthmark on. You're a puppet. He's like, what?
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right. The look on his face.
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people.
Man, how much does he remember? Does he remember?
Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important.
Like, is he pretend? Like, I'm so curious. Is he pretending, or does he actually like what? Like, is his memory also actually just wiped out? There's somewhere I want to take you.
Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more for it. Is that true?
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm, and he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper for a while.
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
All right.
Then let's
Fair
return
enough.
to the city.
Irminsul affects him too. I guess it would, because like even though he's a puppet, he's still from this world. I'm not gonna walk all the way back up there. Or maybe I have to. Boop. Oh, I almost killed Yelena. No, I didn't. She's got 32,000 HP. 32,000 horsepower.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are these two?
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from the stall for a while.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
Well, you changed accents.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, I don't understand why you're so adamant that you don't want any pay for it. But look,
It was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world, like you had nowhere to be and didn't even care that it was raining.
Probably because of the big-ass hat he's got. I don't know. It's the purpose of these big hats.
Imagine you and me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why is he taking a shortcut through the open country if he's not even in a hurry? But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this. Your time is valuable. You know, you should go live your life.
But I don't...
He probably just is like...
No, you're right.
He probably feels lost, like he doesn't have a purpose because he factory reset himself. Like...
Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again for taking me into the city.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years. I just hope you find your path.
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting for me. We can go now.
Oh my gosh, we're going clear the back way up, clear the way back up there. Thanks for stopping by, Ellie. Appreciate you. Have a good sleep. I'm back.
Nahida! Nahida! What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah, quite an eventful walk.
Tell us, Lord Kusanali, what happened?
You say that you were trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain.
How would you even start that conversation?
I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called previous incarnation.
Your old save slot.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So far away that you cannot perceive it.
Okay, I have to ask. What was I like in my previous incarnation?
Kind of a dick at times, but...
Oh, okay. I see.
People loved you anyway.
You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation.
We're just trying to think where to start. You were kind of a little D-bag at times. I brought your mom to try to take the chancla out of you, and you immediately killed her.
If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear. But I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
He's so different now.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did, and many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never be happy.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's true.
Changed you a lot, though.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time, a chain of cause and effect, a cycle of karma and consequence.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not enough to explain the world in all of its complexity.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest fans.
We were each other's enemies. We actually battled.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger we met on the street! He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember anything. What a weird situation.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience my own transgressions.
Oh, dang.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to fill the void within me. Except maybe these sins that can never be undone.
Very well. As you wish.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing him here.
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face, it's my burden to bear.
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Okay.
Oh, good point. Given your, unique situation, we'd better keep an eye on you.
Understood.
Thank you. Now, prepare yourselves, everyone.
Reminiscent drift. Yeah. My default for a domain. My default. My irrational team.
No matter what lies ahead, I'll face it. Whatever it takes. I'm just sorry that you have to join me for the whole thing.
It's time to get ready.
Indeed. Whoa, look at that. I always forget that you can change your party before you go into the domain.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth, but be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world. Please be careful.
Sounds like an immersive experience. It's a good thing we came along.
He'd invented VR.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
And now we're just finishing the job.
All right. Thanks.
You know, he asked us if it were up to you, you would, quote, finish the job. And now Ether said, we are finishing the job. That's an interesting parallel. Because before we were talking about just putting one between his eyes.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
Well, maybe I shouldn't have brought A here.
Is that because the this is kind of like his birthplace?
You could say that, in a sense. You'll see why shortly.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The crystal marrow miners? No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved too. No mining crew would be capable of this. There's someone passed out on the ground.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Are you injured? Not a scratch. And these fine clothes. Who are you?
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tatara Sunna.
And the rest is history. Well, it used to be.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatara Sunna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor disguised as a mechanic. The balladeer, then known as the kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second in command at Tatara Sunna, responsibility for what had happened fell to Mikoshi Nagamasa. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tatara Sunna incident.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Probably my way to exit the domain. Or something. Chest.
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the kabukimono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
That's interesting. Ah, it's gonna electro me. Electro? It's eclectic. The floor is eclectic. Whoa.
Huh? What are we doing back here?
I hear voices.
Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty, but there's nobody here.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here. We can't stay.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died, and then my dad got sick. He kept coughing all the time, just like me.
Ugh.
Then Mom started coughing too.
What does Hoyo have against kids?
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him.
And so he was just nameless, even to the neighbors?
After leaving Tatara Sunna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise to live together.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
I didn't need that shot, Hoyo.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too. The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
I'm remembering what Nahida said. When you give someone the truth, you give them a choice. Like it's going to be Wanderer's choice to choose what to do with this truth. Now we're reliving all of this. Skara's choice. Skara made a choice doing like all the things that happened to him. He still made a choice to turn like he did.
Let's keep going.
Oh! Didn't see those. We're fine. Those look like dendrogranas.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon, one that could be wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
Fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Oh wait, this is a Hydro guy. I don't know why he... Oh, because he doesn't have a Hydro shield, so I guess that's okay. Ow!
Well, looks like I went too far.
Went too far.
Time to go.
Missable chests, missable chests, missable chests. Missable chest. Why is there meat on the ground? I just jumped into that without even...
This place is dark.
Remember this place.
Paimon knows this place. It's the delusion factory in Inazuma.
In the original version of events, the traveler once encountered the balladeer here.
Such a creepy atmosphere. And so familiar.
I remember this. It was an unsettling place.
Hey, look over there.
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by the doctor.
That's a bit messed up, Senora, to bring that up, but...
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible, and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Surely you're not worried about me.
She's hot. It's a pile of dust. For a brief instant, she was the hottest character in all of Teyvat. For about a tenth of a second, she...
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it completely. Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences now. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest and stop pretending like you're above everyone else. Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
I still like the little blender that she carries around.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who does she think she is? Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to give them a warm welcome.
The cinematography of this shot, ascending away from him with the fan in the background, that's good. That is tasty.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer, are you able to continue?
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Why are
hello.
you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Did she not summon any seasons during that?
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru.
I didn't know. Did I know that? Apparently I didn't remember it. That Skara and Signora had beef.
Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
Gonna break your neck one of these days.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently of it.
Oh, and when he fell out of it, those little wires that snapped, that was his life support, basically. Like when he dove out of the mech suit to try to grab the Gnosis, and the little tubes snapped.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
Yes. He's the doctor. He's behind all of this.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a dendrograna. Dendrogramma.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and puppets?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, let it come to pass.
Are you saying...
Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules, with each person being a collection of past experiences. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. All the emotions that you discarded will return to you. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with the void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to become my true self.
Is this the true meaning of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's words? A person can't erase themselves, and even though the original balladeer has gone, this person will live on in its place. Are a person's sins an inescapable part of their destiny too?
I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul searching as a Shugenja, I've never fully understood it. Looking at it now, it seems that I brought this curse upon myself. So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose, to change my destiny, and end my wandering.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright? No way!
Holy clutch.
Hey! Are you done yet?
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end. This is trying.
Oh, Kylo!
Have you got all your memories back now?
Oh, E just cancels that.
Insignificant past.
I have played him before.
Behold, at my command, you shall fall.
No, no, no. I'm clear over here. Ah!
Nothing worth mentioning.
Oops. Here, I got some chickens that I brought from my realm. Oh, I didn't mean to cancel that. I didn't mean to hop up in the air. Ah! Burst! Listen to this soundtrack. Ah! Ah! I'm just gonna tank it. I'm just gonna tank it. Oh my gosh, Shogun just bursting into reality for a brief second.
Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
Okay, real quick before I forget. Did we just witness him being granted his vision? We did, didn't we? Is that the first character that has actually been granted his vision on screen?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am.
Now you've recovered your memories. The past will catch up with you.
You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Look at this thing. Because I've done this once before, is there no chest here at the end of this domain? Because I have accidentally skipped. Okay, no chest. Okay. I made that mistake before.
Welcome back, traveler. Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's exhausted.
Monday.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it.
You won't go by the bell. Thank you for that, Palaguin. It will. For those of you who weren't there, when we did the We Will Be Reunited, I was so shocked at the seeing Lumine for the first time that I straight up teleported away before getting the chest and You won't go by the Balladeer anymore?
After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him.
That's fair.
I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the Sixth is.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
Let's call it a tactical retreat.
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish. What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it.
Nahida doesn't see you in that way.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply and see what secrets can be uncovered, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul.
Yay.
What exactly happened before and after that point? I want to know as well.
Thank you. Let's hope you can find some answers.
I will try.
Traveler.
Yeah?
After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma?
I wanted to... Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I wanted to know what you'd changed.
So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back.
I didn't do all this for a reward.
Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed, which is why there is emotion in the human world. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole.
That's a commentary on Rukkhadevata, isn't it?
To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Hope you can give Nahida a chance.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but the most important thing now is that you need to follow Nahida. Otherwise, all our efforts will have been for nothing.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you, too!
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Well...
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
You want us to decide?
No, Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Have you got anything?
What? You can obtain the item an appellative stroke from the Archon Quest Interlude to change Eons Adrift Wanderer Animo's name. Please take note that some names cannot be utilized in this change. Once you rename this character, some interfaces of the game going forward display the name that you've chosen. There's a limit on the number of times you can rename this character, so do so with care. Don't name him anything... Don't name him anything horrible. What should we name him? I kind of like Wanderer. I'm sure are there, like, if you try to name him if I try Beelzebub, I'm sure if you try to name him like Beelzebub or stuff like that, there's like probably like Easter eggs or something in there. How about just Wanderer? You're still Wanderer.
Are you sure?
I am sure. I think this will do.
Oh, all right. If you say so.
Try
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Still thinking. Stop rushing me.
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one.
And where will you go now?
Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Yes! Break his legs!
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose yourself.
You think he can throw his hat like Captain America?
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. That is up to you.
Huh? But if we do that, then...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been.
All right.
No nonsense. I like it. All right, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
I can't believe they actually brought me around to genuinely liking this mass murdering psychopath.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant.
Yeah, seriously.
He'll need some time to calm down.
And they didn't discuss it, but I'm sure those memories, restoring those memories, also restored the memories of his torture under the doctor as well. which is horrifying that he lived that twice.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fierce anymore.
There were some bumps along the way, but it's all over now.
So we can finally go eat? Paimon is starving.
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to go and relax for a while.
Hello? Oh.
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
Oh my gosh, bro. Look at the lighting on this place, though. Holy. Look at the marble and the gold. Gold!
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah, I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the perfect fit to be the narrator of the epilogue. The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow in Mikoshi Nagamasa's mind for decades to come. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized blade, the Tatara Nagamasa, was forged, the people rejoiced, and there was painting, dancing, and drinking. All these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the final sunrise that Mikoshi Nagamasa saw in his lifetime. Life is a story too long to be told, a journey that you must walk to behold.
Humph, indeed. Return to the resting place. 223 meters. Where the frick are we going? What an awesome arc for a character that I don't want to say that he had a small hand to play, but comparatively a comparatively small character, you know? Oh, our hotel room.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back.
Rest up, Paimon.
Wow, great! Huh? Look at the vase.
What about... It's the one you broke before... It's the one you broke that evening before he reset everything. Before he deleted his old save slot.
Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? Like, Paimon doesn't remember there being a cleaner.
The night we stayed here, Paimon bumped into the table after being startled by something to do with the balladeer and broke the vase. But the balladeer erased his existence. He changed the world, so why is this vase still broken?
You sound lost and confused.
Hello?
I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance, but for anyone else, who can say?
Whose voice is this?
When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. The same is true of fate. Like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a broken vase, is it not?
It sounds a lot like Miko. I thought it was Miko for a second.
Who are you? How do you know about all this?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
The voice has disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere and saying all that scary stuff?
Believe my eyes. Does she mean I should trust my memories?
Anyway, that face is still lying there broken on the ground. Should Paimon go get someone to clean it up?
Nah, leave it for the next guest.
It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment. Paimon will be right back.
Whoa, Paimon's doing work. Oh no, she's going to get someone to clean it up. I was about to say, Paimon's gonna clean it up. Wonder what else awaits me in the future. Well, as you once said, Ether, there's still a long road ahead of us. Damn, that was good. Well, that was good as frick. What the heck is this? The brush with which you may bestow a new name upon a certain... Oh, interesting. Interesting. Also, I still don't know where I use these at. Because the jewelry shop is closed. I wonder if it's something similar to Inazuma, where there's gonna be another sacred Sakura. Let's go deposit our oculuses. Can still name him Wanderer. Oh, our Marinara quest. Boop. All right. Holy. Nice. And we got a fate. Do I want to throw another single pull at the hot motorcyclist? No, I want to keep saving. I'm intending on saving for all right.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of
It's
constant
but a
motion.
backdrop of constant motion. Okay, we are at 3.5 hours right now. Holy, how did we get, oh, these were all, I was like, how did we get all these? Wow, and I can buy another fate as well to replenish the one that I oh no, I can't, I'm still not close enough. Not close enough.
This scenery is wonderful.
Oh my gosh, why is everyone talking? You think I care what you have to say? I do care, Kazuha. Okay. Tomorrow's Saturday. Next stream, we will do trials. And yeah, because this is now 3.5 hours. It's 8 o'clock in the evening, my time. Ooh, let's check the gossipers in Minecraft in Mondstadt. It's 8 o'clock and I haven't eaten. We've been going straight from 4:30 my time till 8 o'clock my time. So next time we will do trials and watch Skara's trailer or Wanderer's trailer and that kind of stuff. I jumped right over them. Did you hear? Huh, have you heard? It seems as Wait, this is the same as before. Right? Yeah, this is the same as before. Wait. No, wait. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is the same. But enough about the 8th Harbinger. It said the 6th... Okay, here we go. The 6th Harbinger seat has been left vacant for hundreds of years. Is that not cause for concern? Interesting. So that must have been the only... that must have been the thing that changed, right? You like how when I ported into Mondstadt, I immediately just autopiloted over to the crafting table? Welcome! Okay. I think that will do it for today. Oh my gosh, those notes of this Mondstadt music.
Navigating the world as a whole.
That was nostalgic for me. I was like, oh man, remember when the only concern was a dragon flying overhead? I mean, and Illumine was still missing back then too, but... All right. I think that does it for today. Thank you all so much for stopping by. And thank you once again, AJ, if you're watching. Holy loud. Thank you again, AJ, for the raid. If there's any raiders still here, thank you for sticking around. Play with the volume. What? What do you mean?
Paimon coming in! Paimon coming in! Is this level okay? Can you hear Paimon? Paimon coming in! Paimon coming in! Is this level okay?
What do you mean?
Can you hear Paimon? Paimon coming in! Paimon Is this level okay? Can you hear Paimon? Hey! Are you just messing with Paimon?
All right, I did not know that. Thank you. Why is Twitch not notifying people? Okay. Good reason also to join the Discord, because I often will announce when I'm streaming if like the normal time slot for our weekday streams changes. If normally we stream at 3:30. Often right now it's been 4:30 because there's so much going on during the New Year's time of year for me. So all of that, and like when I do go live, the bot on Discord will always alert. I hope so. But yeah, so Discord linked below, merch linked below, YouTube linked below. So thank you all so much for stopping by. What an amazing game. I'm loving this so much. I'm so excited for everything else for everything that's in store for us. Fontaine and everything. I intend also to pull on Farina when she comes around as well. I would like to collect all of the Archons. I didn't think that I would want to, but when we got A and then we got Nahida, and now that we have Zhongli, I was just like, yeah, I'll take a Farina and a Venti. A Venti Mocha Frap. That was the dumbest joke I've made in this channel. Also Mavuika, I would like one of her as well. But when she comes back around, because I'm saving for Father or Buttons. Farina Goaded. Good. I would get her just to add her to the collection, even if she's not super useful. But knowing that she's useful is also, I'd imagine, you know, it's an Archon, it's a 5-star that they want you to spend money on. So I'd imagine they make her pretty good. And again, I don't know if we're supposed to know this. You guys seem to say that it wasn't a super secret. It's okay that I learned this, but I think I discovered that Mavuika was the Pyro Archon on one of Hoyo's official marketing pieces, one of their promo pieces. And I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to know that. But you guys seem to say that like she wasn't one of the secret ones, like Venti or Zhongli, you know, being secret archons. So that does it for today. Thanks all again so much. Let's get some nuts to round this chat out. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Or no, I will see all of you next time. I'm going to take tomorrow, Saturday, and the next day, Sunday, as my normal rest days. I may actually stream on Sunday, but Sunday is often I also use as a rest day. So I will definitely see you Monday, and I will alert you if I intend on streaming on Sunday. So thanks again so much. I appreciate all of you so much. And I will see all of you next time. Thanks again. Can't say it enough. Thanks again. Bye.